Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Speed Talk. We're supposed to have Tanner Mullens on tonight. Unfortunately, he is fixing up some torn up equipment from Sunday at Granite City, so we're going to have him on next week. So we thought we'd just get on here with our group, just kind of go over a little mid-season recap, just how things have been going with the boys here, and yeah, just kind of cover some of them things. We have our guest on here a lot. We don't get to talk a lot about our racing, so. Just want to get on here and update some of that, and just yeah, go from there. So Zach, obviously big winner on Saturday. Zach's got the most recent wins. Tell us a little about your night on Saturday, Sheffy.
It was good. I felt really good all night. I don't know. It was just, yeah, there was nothing that really went wrong. Just everything kind of worked out. Um, yeah, I don't know. It was fast. Came from like fifth in our heat and wasn't like the craziest heat race or anything like that, but it was a good heat win. And then, yeah, drew three. The front two were both loaded up, um, after the redraw. So then I was on the pole and yeah, we led pretty much all of it except for the lap that Brandon should have probably passed me.
Yeah, that was dude, what's going through your head when you see the 50 the third go by you? Like that's just got to be about the most helpless feeling.
Yeah, it's kind of defeating. Yeah. You're like, yeah. It's just because it's so hard to keep him behind you. So then once he's side by side with you or in front of you, it's like, oh, you got to work that much harder to even get by him if you
Right.
can.
Right. Yeah, when that yellow came out, I was watching and I'm like, holy shit, like he's gonna, because you had just went up to the top and you could tell it was like crummy up there and you weren't getting a hold of anything. And that yellow came back down and I like looked at your dad and I'm like, holy, move back to the middle. And then you moved to the middle and it was lights out.
There was like a nice brown strip there that I could just like hook on and kind of just bobble through it basically. It was because I think the track had just a little bit
It's
of
starting to get a
chop,
hole
but
in one and two.
yeah,
But
but no, it was good.
how about the 28, dead last second? Tell us a little bit about that run. Yeah.
Oh man. So in the heat race, I don't know, I didn't even make it off of turn four in the heat. I had someone get up under me with their tire and lift the rear tires off the ground, it seemed like, because I was on the gas, and then when I got set back down, I it felt like I broke a drive shaft. So I didn't finish. So then we came back in, we pulled the axles, checked the pull bar, checked the gears, couldn't find anything wrong. I actually ripped it around the backside of the pits at Deer Creek, which is kind of cool in the wet grass. You know, you get
Dude,
600,
everybody
six.
was watching you.
I know. I had her barred up, and I
You
was
did
like,
it like you made like five or
Four
six
laps,
laps
yeah.
around there. I was
yeah.
like, holy shit, dude.
So I was like, all right, if I can't get it to do what it did in the heat race, I'll just race the feature. So luckily, we started last, but there was only 15 cars that started. So, um, even starting 15th, I don't know, I feel like we drove up pretty quick. Like I got to fifth in about 4 or 5 laps, and then I got up to Harley. I'm trying to, or maybe I was in fourth. I got up to Harley, and the whole deal with Brandon happened on a restart. So I was able to go third, then I passed Harley, and then I had one restart right behind Zach, and I don't know. I tried to following him on the bottom and middle, and felt like I could maintain but couldn't like gain. So then I went to the top for 4 or 5 laps, and he put 4 or 5 car lengths on me after that, and moved back down, and that's where we finished. So no, no complaints. I'll take second. I'm glad, that nothing was really wrong after the heat race. Like I thought I shit a rear end or broke an axle, something stupid like that. But luckily, I got a big round tire mark underneath my fuel cell, like where it dented the fuel cell. It's like it's like the perfect size for an American racer to fit right in there. So, luckily, didn't get any damage. Yeah, Saturday went pretty good for us. I can't complain. I'm looking forward to we're gonna take Saturday off this week at Deer Creek, and we're gonna go around the Northern Lights tour at Webster City. So I haven't been to Webster City since 2019, and I know they've had a lot of changes since since I've been down there. So looking forward to going down there, racing the modified down there. I'm sure there'll be some really good cars too. So should be a good night.
Where are you boys racing this weekend?
Webster, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I'll be at Deer Creek Saturday.
I am taking the weekend off and I got a wedding on Saturday. Um, thought about maybe racing Friday, but just we had to order a new radiator. It actually just came in this afternoon, and we're just gonna take the weekend off. I'm actually gonna go race Jackson next week for the 1,000 to win special deal. Never raced there, so kind of nice. Got the week off and don't race till Tuesday, but I don't know. I'm pretty excited for that deal. Parker, you're going to that. Yeah, I've never been to Jackson, but heard it's pretty sweet. They sunk a lot of money into that sucker, so
Hmm.
I'm pretty jacked to go race there.
Fender cars or mods don't get a lot of chances to turn laps there anymore. I mean, I haven't raced there probably 2 years, and it's 5 minutes from my shop. So pretty excited to go back and try it with the USRA stuff.
Dude, is it like I changed gears this afternoon? Is it what's it compared to like Deer Creek? Like I put 96s in. Like is that gonna
I
be
would I would compare it to like Brit,
oh so it's
like a
pretty
little
Oh, it's got
more
that longer.
little.
It's got long straightaways.
Yeah, I mean it's longer, but it almost feels it's almost got the shape of, man, I don't want to say Decora, but it's like
it's
the sweeping
circular?
corners. Yeah, the sweeping corners and the wall comes up quick on the front straightaway to the point where it feels like you're like constantly turning around the whole track. But
So
yeah,
it's
I would say like I'm running the same gear at Jackson that I did in Brit.
'cause I think I ran 583s at Brit, but she was pretty juiced up that night too though. Remember
Yeah,
we
and
had
I wouldn't expect anything less at Jackson. I'm not gonna
she'll be
lie.
fast.
I would assume it's going to be pretty fast.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how many I'm just curious how many cars they get there. Like are we gonna show up? Is there gonna be 12 B mods for 1,000 to win, or is there going to be
You know,
30?
on a Tuesday night, I hope. I know that Britt had like the Ironman and the USMTS shows going on that night that they had like 162 cars. But my hope is like we get at least over 100 and show these guys that, hey, we can pile some cars together on a Tuesday night, and if you guys come back, next year and say, hey, we're gonna give you 6 to 8 shows and maybe do it on a Saturday. Hopefully, we can do the same thing and pull them together. So
Yeah.
that's my hope is what we can do. Same thing with like what Britt was doing. USRA is like, hey, if we get these cars here, maybe you guys will turn into a USRA track at some point too.
Right.
It's kind of like my hope, but
Or even Casson this week. Last week they had their fair. And, for racing once a year, they had 90 cars on a Thursday night
yeah,
for good money
I don't
and
know
put
if
on a good show.
did you guys go back and watch any of those highlights on YouTube that they had?
Yeah,
It actually looked really good.
it
Like
was
the
pretty racy.
racing
I
Like,
looked
heard I
good.
heard it was pretty good.
The track
Like
was it was
like
it
what was
was
it?
it was
Brandon and
good.
Lucas went in that heat race for what, side by side for a
Side
while
by
there.
side for 5 or 6 laps, and then
Yeah,
Ryan
uh
or
the BMod show was that Anderson. He
yeah,
was
that
kind of
was
out front for a while, and then they got to lap traffic, and then there was the 3 car battle for the last 7, 8 laps, and just all of them were good races.
Modry won that deal from like
Modry
10th,
won.
didn't he?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Sounds like they. Go ahead, Jeff.
I thought it was cool that Ryan Gustin showed up and was racing one of
yeah.
Brandon's was racing Blake Arndt's car. Like that's pretty sweet.
Hmm.
Mhm.
But
Sounds like they're
Blake
gonna put
told me
another one
he
together. Go ahead, Park.
I was gonna say Blake. I talked to Blake last week a bunch, and he's saying, what was it Wednesday night? He's like, I had a stern talking with her. I said, someone else is gonna be inside you, and you're gonna be abused. That's what he told me. I was like, all right, Blake, that's a good way to look at someone else driving your race car, especially Ryan.
speaking of Blake Arndt, how about Blake Arndt being the race director for the night?
That's pretty cool.
I
He
wonder.
was.
Yeah, Blake was the race director on the headphones. I
Sounds
wonder.
like it went good enough though that they're gonna maybe try to put one more night together. Is that what I kind of took away from what Science
Sounds like
posted
they're
on
gonna
They
Facebook?
try.
they yeah, they wanna have a couple more nights. Try to get
Yeah,
one more night this year and hopefully a couple more nights next year. Give another place for people to race for good
yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Right.
So P Money, take us through a little bit of your year. I mean, lead national points at one point. I think you're in second now. Just kind of take us through. I mean, we haven't really talked about our racing season since before the beginning of the year, I
May.
think. Just kind of take us through how your year's been going, some highs, some lows. Just what's it been like
Yeah.
in the hobby stock world?
Um, I would say a lot of people would, I wouldn't say kill to have the like to try to have the year that I'm having, but lately it just feels like I've just had the worst year possible. Um,
You've had
I've
sheer
got
luck.
25 nights in this year already. Trying to get to you try to get your top 30 pretty quick. So, the rest of the year you can start canceling your nights out for national points. I wouldn't say that I've kind of backed off in national points a little bit just because, these last like 3 or 4 weeks, I've just been experiencing, a little bit of that burnout where you wreck 2, 3 nights in a row. I tipped it over at Deer Creek, probably what, 3 weeks into the season. And then I hit a tractor tire 2 weeks ago, and then Saturday night I wrecked again. It's just a little bit of that burnout where I just need a weekend off or I need to take a night off. But in the end, it's not necessarily who who can get the most nights in national points. It's more so once you get to your 30, what do you do after your 30? So if I can get to that 30, then it'll be okay. But yeah, I definitely a big accomplishment at the beginning of the year to be able to win those races early, and then definitely bigger just to see, okay, I can do this with my seeing my national or my name up on top of national points was pretty cool. But to be able to carry that momentum throughout the year has been a huge struggle lately, but that's part of racing. You just got to keep digging and keep racing. So I don't know. It's been a pretty good year. To have 3 wins is pretty cool, but would like to get some more.
I was just we got 10 wins so far this year for I mean between our group. That's five more than we had all last year, I think. I think we had five last year, I want to say. So
Mm-hmm.
hats off to the legend. Troy's carrying three of them puppies, but
Troy's got
I
three. So does Parker, right?
Parker's
Yeah,
got
I
oh
got
yeah,
three.
Parker's got three. You got three. That Chef's got one. Chef's got two. Parker's got one, and I got a glorified second. And dude, how about that? Do you see
Yeah, take
they
let's
took the what do you guys think about them taking the cone away at Deer Creek?
I
I
loved it.
think
I
it's a
loved
step
it
in the
too.
right direction.
I loved it. They needed
Yeah.
to
I'm
do
not
that.
gonna lie, I didn't even notice it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
seriously, like I
it
just
I don't know. I start the race in the same spot every
mhm.
single time. So for me, it was like I didn't think much of it, but I saw a lot of people get burned on it, and I just think, like, in my opinion, the leader's a leader. If you bring them in at a steady pace, no jackrabbit, and you fire in the middle of turn three, you know,
Who cares?
who cares?
Right.
Jack,
And
your
it's
heat
nice
race. I
for
told you this. Your heat race that night, you got docked a little early, a little
Yeah.
high out across, but like it's still like no one got bunched up out of the deal. You know what I mean? But
No.
then for you to run three more laps and then get docked with a on a restart with two to go, I thought that kind of sucked. If anything, if you don't like the start, it's like
Throw
when the
the
dog
yellow,
shits in
put
the
you back
carpet,
a
right?
row.
Yeah, the dog shits in the carpet. You don't wait 2 hours
Yeah.
to rub his nose in it. You do it now. So just
It was
and
like
I
hours during laps and in that scenario, if you guys put two
watching
and two together.
watching you guys, not necessarily just the hobby stocks. Like I haven't really, like I said, that cone didn't really make that big of a difference for me. But like watching you guys, it almost felt like that cone brought out the jackrabbits.
oh,
You know what
It
I
did.
mean?
absolutely.
It
Like,
A
did
hundred
like
because
it.
percent did.
everyone's thinking way too hard about it, and they
Yeah, yeah.
know how hard they patrol it. So, and I'm not track bashing Deer Creek whatsoever. I'm just looking at it from a strictly a racing standpoint. It's like you're thinking too hard where to start that race, and you tear up more stuff
And then
when
all of a
you
sudden
when
you
you
get on the
guys are thinking at
juice.
that. Yeah, it's
You get
like
you get on the juice, and you're like, oh, I'm not at the cone. Let me back her down 1 second.
exactly. Well,
And
now
then go
all 10
again.
rows behind you are bashed up
Hmm.
and into one another. So
I
and you'd almost be crazy like leading a race, you'd almost be crazy to wait until the second cone to start too. So everyone's like ready to launch when you hit that first cone. That's where it's like if the leader isn't on it basically by that first cone, people are gonna start like, yeah, getting into each other. But
Right.
my whole
Just a
thing is like
domino.
I honestly, oh Mila,
He's 68, so we're just hanging out,
I
waiting
honestly,
for Lucas Oil to start.
I honestly think like sometimes I think like not that I've been out front a lot, but I almost think that cone, as dumb as it sounds, almost made me go earlier sometimes because I got so like I
Antsy.
gotta wait, and then like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Then you'd see like someone
Yeah.
like creeping up on your inside or something. It's just like fuck, I'd fire, and then it
Yeah.
was like then you're getting docked where, like at Fountain City where it's just like I just roll in and go. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if I start just after three.
Hmm.
Most people know that I'm gonna, if I'm out front, I'm gonna fire as soon as I can, and
Mhm.
I think every driver kind of has that tendency. Like, certain drivers are gonna, like Corbin. I know Corbin's gonna
I
fire in turn
wait until the
four
last
at the
cone
last
as
cone.
I
And
can.
like, I know, there's certain guys I think of that, fire at the end or fire super early. And it's like, then you get people where
Trying to
if you have the
anticipate it.
cone, people are just anticipating that cone. And I think that's where people pile up. I think of Parker last year when you got torn up real bad. Remember you bent your rear end. Was that last year or 2 years ago on a restart? I remember you got all torn up in the left rear on a restart. Someone jackrabbited
I
at the
think
Oh
that
corner.
was
yeah,
2 years ago because I
that
don't
was the
think I was
first. That was
racing
the
mine, was
first
I?
year.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a shit start. Yeah, that
yeah.
was a bad deal because I was like, I think I started 11th. Yeah, I was back there ways, and I was
It was the
completely barred
initial
up, and
start.
someone went, and then I went, and then the whole two, 3 rows ahead of me just stopped and turned down and like piled up, and then I got just completely ass packed in the rear and took out. We wrecked a lot of stuff that night. That sucked. That
Yeah, I
was
remember
and
that.
just I didn't even make it. I didn't even make it to the flag stand. You know what I mean? That was one of those where like we were done before we could even start. On
Hmm.
on a start, and just so that's just how it goes sometimes, unfortunately. But I do think, and just is just my opinion. You know what they say about opinions? They're like assholes. Everyone has
Everyone's got
one, and
one.
they all stink.
Hmm.
But I just make it up to the leader to start the race. Keep them even. Keep a good pace. Don't drop your pace, and just get
There,
going. And if you do have a good start, even if it's early, and no one's getting tore up, no one dropped out of line, let it go. It's just like that's how I see it. But
My whole thing is like, especially if you're the leader. Like I look back to Dan's deal a couple weeks ago when he got docked. you know, as the leader, you should have the advantage, right? That's how I look at it. So if you get a good start and the row behind you sleeping, and all of a sudden you come across the flag saying you're 4 car lengths ahead of everyone, you got a good start. That's the advantage you deserve to have being out front. So
yeah,
Hmm.
that's where I
and
think
I
it's,
agree.
and
especially going
again, they
into that
dock him.
first corner after a restart. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the biggest. That's the biggest. I don't know. Would you say that's probably the biggest part of that restart is that first corner after it?
oh,
Hmm.
Just
absolutely.
trying to
Because
make
one,
sure you don't either get slid or you don't miss your mark and someone slips on
right.
you.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the
Being able
crap,
to get the jump to get your line
right.
Yeah, to
that you
be able
want.
to run
and
the
the
line you
thing,
want to run.
Yeah.
the thing that sucked about the Hovden deal is like they didn't dock him till the end of the race, right?
And he won by a
Hmm.
straightaway.
And he won
And
by a
you,
straightaway. So
yeah,
clearly he was the car. No offense to you, Jack.
Oh,
Clearly he was the class of the field that night.
he
So to
drove from
have him
eighth,
cross
and
a,
yeah,
at least if you don't like the start, again, going back to what I said earlier, stop the race, put
put
him
him back
back
a row.
Yeah.
two
Okay.
spots,
I
and
was
give
just
him
gonna
a
ask
shot
you.
to win. To
Correct.
take to
Right.
take the win away from a guy that's out by a straightaway on the rest of the field because of a start is bullshit. And I truly felt bad. Like I was happy you won, and I'm glad you acknowledged that Dan was the faster car that night. But it just sucks for him,
Oh,
because
absolutely.
I just think that's life isn't
Yeah.
fair and rules are rules. But I just
we
think
also
to not let him get another shot to win if he
Right.
didn't like the
Yep.
start.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like if they would have said, "Nope, yellow's out," just like World of Outlaws does. Bad
Yep.
start, you're going back. 28J, you're
Don't.
going up. You're
Yeah.
going up front. They just
Yep.
Don't
swapped
let
you.
them keep racing. Don't let
Nope,
them keep racing.
Exactly.
No.
Don't let him
because
keep
That's.
racing.
the thing is, Dan would have restarted and passed us both again, and he still would have had the opportunity to win. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like
Hmm.
Yeah.
where Dan's racing for national points. That was an eighth to first. Like that was a great night for him points wise.
Hmm.
And then it's like, that's a shitty deal. And again, this is by no means trying to knock Deer Creek. This is
no, we're
not
not.
the
Yeah,
case at
not
all.
not gonna try.
No. love that place, and I think they did do the right thing,
Hmm.
taking that cone away. But anyways, getting away from that, Corb, how'd your weekend go, buddy?
Well, we flat out sucked in the heat. Just not, just missed a couple things. Gear was off. Just made some adjustments for the B. Started eighth, I think. Drove it to the last transfer spot, and then started dead last in the B feature, and just kept the nose clean. And I think we finished 17th. Yeah, it was a good run. Getting more nights on the car, getting used to it. It's a completely different deal. Um, learning every night with no one else having a car like it. It's just,
Right.
takes a little longer to do it, but we got the help from Brandon and everything, and he's smart and he knows what needs to be done, and it's getting better every night.
I swear every time I talk to that guy, that guy's got so much knowledge.
You,
It's insane. Like you have a conversation with Brandon and he's like,
you
it
learn
just
something
makes,
new every time.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it's, I wish
And
I wish I had 1% of his race car knowledge. Like I just wish I could have 1% of that.
and
I
the thing,
mean,
he's always trying something. He's never
yeah.
his car is not, I mean, it's the same, but it's not the same every week. He's always trying to get faster, making improvements. He,
Brandon's
he
not
don't leave anything alone.
Brandon's not afraid to try anything. Oh, let's not take two turns out. Let's take 12. But
Jack, Corb, what before we move on about that, what do you guys think about them taking away a feature? Do you like that there's only one feature? Do you like that they, you know what I
so
mean?
here's my whole deal on that. Um I think it's honestly I don't think there should be two features. I agree with that too. I mean,
Yeah, there should be one.
there should be one feature.
That's how it's always been.
Yep,
Right.
I kind of took the double features as, and I get why they did it. They were trying to reward us because we had so many cars. They were trying to pay more people. I thought that was great, and I think they were doing the right thing. But now the whole problem I have with it, I have no problem with them going back to one feature. But they
Well, the
showed
pay.
when we have 40 race cars, at least how I took it was if we have 40 cars, they can afford to pay, two
Mhm.
persons, right? So,
Yep.
and I'm not saying B mods need to pay 1,000 to win when we get 40 plus cars because B mods, any way you look at it, is still supposed to be a support class. We're not 1,000 to win. That go race modified if you want to race for 1,000 to win. Do I think that they could maybe make it 500 to win or something when we get 40 cars? Yeah, maybe. But as far as like a running a program, I do think it's better. I think there were a lot of people frustrated watching two B mod features, especially some of the nights when we got, five, six yellows a piece.
Mhm.
That's the mods nowadays.
Yeah, nope. Dude, the mods
Mods
have
can't
had
get it
more.
together.
I swear the mods have had more yellows this year than it's been crazy.
It
But
took me, yeah, it was three starts before we got a lap in, I think,
it
this
was,
weekend.
yeah.
I
But
love the way, going off of what you were just talking about with payouts, Jack. I I love the way that Todd Staley does payouts.
I was just gonna
I
say
I
that.
love the way he does it. It is based strictly off a car count.
Yeah.
If you get say the night, we'll just go off of what Britt. You had 30 what 30 some B mods. Hobby
Yeah.
Stocks had 30. You probably had 40 or 50 B mods actually.
Yeah, we had a lot.
Anyway, that's up 22 plus. Let's take 22 plus. You're maxing out your payout. It was $700 for the Hobby Stocks to win.
Which is
I'd say
When
great.
you max out your payout. You
Mason
know,
City a couple weeks ago, they had 22, they had like
20
28 B mods. It's
paid a
1,000 to
thousand to
win.
win. Yeah.
right? So I mean,
That's
like
a
it depends on the car count. Say if it was like 14 to 18 cars, I think is where that limit's set at. Then it's like they back it down a little bit, where it's like it goes from 700 win for 22 plus to 500, $400, something like that. But then you get down, where you get to, take Fairmont for chance. Zach can't afford to take that, $700 payout and pay 5, 6 cars. You know what I
Right.
mean? So you have to. I just love the way he does it. It just
Hmm.
depends on how many cars show up.
Yeah, it benefits the cars or the class the most cars. I mean, if he has a night where he gets five modifieds, he's not going to pay them 1,000 to win. He's going to pay the hobby
Right.
stocks that brought 27 cars or the B mods that brought 30 cars, you know. But then you get in that slippery slope where it's like, well, these modifieds have $30,000 engines in them, and you know, if you put a modified out there, you should be racing for more money. People argue that, which I understand that, but yeah, I don't know what's the I don't know what is the right answer on that. But as far as yeah, going back to the double features, I think Deer Creek. I don't think there was anything negative about that.
No, they made the right changes on both ends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
yeah, no, for sure.
my whole deal is if you race 24 cars in a field and you're not good enough to be in the top 24, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's just the way it is. I mean, you're gonna have nights where you draw shitty in a heat race and you break and you're starting the back would be that's just life.
Hmm.
Not everyone gets to race the feature, and I think they did the
Right.
right thing. But yeah, I mean, I think if we get 40 cars, like you said, like Todd does not, like I said, not saying they have to pay us 1,000 to win, but you know, if they paid 500 to win, that'd be sweet. But
And
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think they Deer Creek did do that. They have the over 30 cards. They have a upgraded purse.
yeah, and I think
Courtesy of
that's good.
Action Engineering, they sponsored that, so
Yeah, because
they're
like
doing something for it for
that
us
night.
that rewarding us for having the cars.
Yeah, because that night I got credited the win. It was 450 a win. And it's like that extra $100 was nice. Like 450 win, that's a good little chunk of money. But no, kind of going away from that. You guys watch the USMTS swing this weekend? What do you guys think about some of them going to Granite City for the first time in a long time? Just some of those things.
I thought
They,
The Granite City race definitely had some character.
Oh yeah,
It's
that was
kind of a cool track, but yeah, I don't know. It was. Is there
James
anything
Parker
new?
was up there.
James Parker was up there. I did see that. Yeah,
so who I don't know who was talking there.
All the nights
Or,
of the swing was pretty good races.
yeah.
yeah.
Pretty cool to see Joe win. Two races this week
Joe
in
was
Ferrari.
fast.
He was
He
He's
was
been
fast.
fast.
quick.
He was very fast.
Yeah.
Joe and Tanner Mullens has been like up front every night
Consistently.
recently. Yeah.
Dude, what do you
is that
guys
a
and I'm not trying to we'll have to ask Tanner about it from his perspective, but what do you guys think about that deal in the heat race with Tanner and Jim? And this isn't supposed to be like a negative hit at it. Just what
When
what
I
were your
was
thoughts
watching it
there?
live, they went in, they had a little contact in one and two, and it was what it was. Jim slid him. Was it the cleanest slide job? Probably not. He kind of got over his nose a little bit, and then it looked like Tanner just got in his rear end and they got caught together. And then
Yeah.
Tanner ended up in the wall. I don't think it was necessarily Jim trying to wreck him or Tanner
No.
trying to spin him out or nothing. It was just a racing deal that
Were they hooked or did
Tanner was under his
I didn't
rear
know if
end. Yeah,
I
he
didn't know
kind
if
of
he
was
just stayed in it or
he
if
was he
they
was
were
under
actually
his he was from where I what I was watching. He was under his rear bumper and Jim was kind of sideways and Tanner was sideways and when they both lifted, Tanner
Because
ended
did
up in
they
the wall.
dock Jim a position at the line?
Yes, they docked
Okay,
him.
that's what I thought. Because it showed Tanner got second. Because Tanner
Yeah.
made the redraw, obviously.
Yeah, Jim made it too. They started 1-2 in the
Yeah.
feature. Didn't have any issues, obviously, but yeah, they did dock Jim
Who's
for
gonna who's gonna go
driving.
up to Ogilvy this weekend and win the 120,000?
I haven't even seen the pre-entry list yet.
So
If
you
I
think
was a betting man, the 24 would probably be up there.
it'll be Jim?
I don't know about winning, but he seems like every race. He won Salina, he finished second in both of Fountain City's
Fountain
hundred
City.
thousands. It just seems like the long races, he's always there.
I think it's pretty
He's
hard to bet
just
against the
he
97.
and Dillard's always fast. He's going up, obviously. And your normal mod guys are there,
Yeah.
big names.
Sabraski will probably be pretty good.
Sabraski will be
He's
good.
going
He's
to be
always
really
good up
good though.
there. Um, all your USMTS guys. Rodney, you can't ever count Rodney out.
Yeah.
You know that racetrack's just gonna be absolute glass.
By the end of those 60 laps, that thing's gotta be just
Is it
It's
only
only
60 laps?
I think so, yeah.
oh, I
For a
figured
wow.
I
Is it
figured it'd be
si- Yeah,
I figured it had to be 100 for 125,000.
I think they
That's a
cut it
big
because
track though.
they didn't want to do the stop
Fuel
halfway
stop.
through.
Yeah, I
That's
Gotcha.
a
think
So
big
it's
it
track,
six.
isn't
Is
it?
it 60 then?
let's look.
It's I don't know. Is Ogilvy bigger than Deer Creek, you think?
I would think
It's
so. It looks
it's
bigger than Deer Creek.
Ogilvy's
I
bigger
don't know
than Deer Creek,
when
ain't
we
it?
raced on it. It's very comparable. I don't know.
Yeah.
Seriously?
I mean, it's not
It's maybe
like
got longer. It's got longer
It seems
straightaways.
like it's longer straightaways, tighter
Yeah,
corners, but it's not
yeah.
like way bigger.
I just remember I've only gone there once. It was in 2018 in my dirt dueler, and the place was literally like an ice skating rink. I
Yeah,
mean, it was just like
It's slick.
60 laps for
smooth,
the feature.
but it wasn't like it didn't get like black and grippy like kind of like Deer Creek and Fountain City do. It just goes glass. Like it doesn't the moisture doesn't come back through and it doesn't start to get sticky again. It just goes the slick. It kind of honestly it kind of reminds me of like Lucas Oil. Like it goes from traction to just slick. But
Those were that swing there. That was a those are always soda tracks, right?
Ogilvy,
Yep, the
um,
Mod Ward. Princeton,
Princeton, and
Ogilvy,
Granite.
Granite
yeah.
City.
Fairmont's not, obviously.
Fairmont's, yeah.
I thought
No,
I
well,
thought
right.
The Mod Wars swing, that Friday, Saturday, Sunday was soda.
I thought
Where
Princeton looked like a rush.
that place is
Reese
so
Solinger
narrow.
was giving her.
He
Oh
was
yeah.
Mm.
That video of him coming to turn one and his car's wheel hopping.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was giving her.
it's
But
badass.
Every person I've talked to that's a race there, because that used to be IMCA like 2 or 3 years ago, and they used to do like a hobby stock tour to the that up north where they go to Brainerd and they go to Princeton and places like that. But every person I've talked to, it's just so narrow and there's like nowhere to pass. You just got to make it happen.
yeah. But let's see what else. So yeah, Parker talked about this Northern Lights deal. Zach and Parker, we're what? Little over midway through July. What's your guys' initial thoughts been on that little tour so far?
Go ahead, buddy. Go first.
I enjoy it. I quite honestly don't run as good as I would really like to. It seems like at those races, and I don't even want to say like there's been nights I've set myself up for success and then just goofed up like that last heat race at Fountain City. That last race we had, I started third, timed in well, and I just got in hot, almost spun out, lost a couple spots, and puts you starting 13th, 14th, and then you get up in the top 10, and
You're
every
just
car up
stuck.
in the top 10 is pretty stout. So to get up to seventh, I was pretty happy about that, but definitely want to be, better and contending for a win. So we'll see what we can do this weekend. I'm excited for Webster. I'm really looking forward to going to Cresco and Decorah next week. That's going to be fun.
Oh,
Else
that's
we got
next
the,
week.
yeah,
I,
first and
I
second.
believe so. Yep.
Yep.
What is that, Friday, Saturday?
Friday,
Friday,
Saturday.
Saturday. Yep.
Okay.
Deer
Yep.
Creek doesn't
So
race next week.
Nope.
No.
nope.
Oh, that's right.
That'd be kind of a
So
fun, that'd be a
yeah,
fun one if they go. Yeah.
looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So
I'd like
yeah,
to
overall, I think it's a great little. I guess I don't want to call it a mini series because there's it's not like it's 5 races, but yeah, overall it's a great series. Hats off to Eric Chesterman and Trenton Berry and everyone else involved to make that happen. It's a great deal for us guys really in the Midwest, whether you're in Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota. It's great to be able to go run those tracks and make some good money and yeah, I got no complaints. I just want to run better.
yeah. What are your thoughts, Zach?
I think it's been pretty good so far. I mean, I agree with everything you said about the series itself and the tracks they're going to. Payouts are great. Yeah, my points run for that didn't really start out that great because I got the Dairyland was the first Northern Lights races, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because I struggled Friday of that, got DQ'd my heat race Saturday, ran in the back, and then Mason City, when we went there, I kind of struggled. I don't know, I wasn't really anything special there, but then like as of recent things have gotten pretty good. I guess like the go for 50 was um really was an awesome weekend for
Hmm.
for me. I guess I knew we were good at Deer Creek. I've always been good at Deer Creek, but um I was curious to see because we had that USMTS race and I DNF'd in that, so I was curious to see where I actually um kind of ranked with everybody there, Rodney and Dustin Lee, all these guys were there. And yeah, to be like racing for a win Friday and then went 12th to 7th Saturday, but it was like it felt good. It felt like a good seventh. I don't know. And then recently I've been quicker at Fountain City than I ever was last year, and I'm getting, I think I got fourth and fifth or something like that. I've been pretty like I'm moving up in the points a little bit because I've been a little more consistent. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's fun. It's a
dude,
good series.
you've been like honestly like you've been one of the fastest race cars anywhere you go like the last like month and a half. Like it's just it's crazy to see. And not saying you weren't at that level last year, but I think a lot of it's just I mean I think your race car's a lot better this year,
Yeah,
and I think
definitely.
you're driving more confidently. I mean you can just see it. Like when you were out front this week, I mean you just look so calm out there. But yeah, you've been on a tear lately. But no, going back, you said that USMTS show. I mean there's so much that's happened this year. I kind of forget about it. Parker, first podium finish with USMTS at Deer Creek. What uh what was that like, Park?
Pretty awesome and a little heartbreaking at the same time. We threw our hat in the ring for the lead there for just I don't know, maybe 150 feet, and then Rodney slid me back. But just to throw a slide job for the lead at Deer Creek Speedway with a full car count of USMTS cars was pretty cool. And then to end up a solid second. We passed some good cars that night too. You know, I started sixth and I had to maneuver my way kind of to the front and got up to Rodney and got lucky with a restart. And I had never done that choose cone deal, so that was kind of goofy. Like Rodney
Yeah.
gave me the inside, but he starts the race on the outside, so that was a little different. Try not to jump that deal. And like, sorry guys, my daughter is just she's kind of fussy right now. But yeah, I don't know. It was cool to end up. You know, I'm still happy with second. And here, give me like 1 second.
No, you're good.
That
Full time
was.
dad now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can let
It's
oh
all
he's
good.
still here.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I said to grab a nook. She's just trying to hang out.
Oh.
But um yeah, no, that whole weekend was pretty awesome. To end up second, and that was like that whole month of May, like we actually won some money, which was kind of fun based on, from what we spent to go racing to what we earned. So that was kind of cool. That was like the first time I think we've ever, to my knowledge, probably like paid our way week to week because we just had like consistent week after week after week. We were running good. And we both picked up wins, locally, and then to run good at that USMTS show. It was awesome. So the whole month of May was really good to us. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
I
had
don't know.
a
It's been a really really good year. And then last month, or earlier this month, we had a 23rd to third. I mean, I literally started dead last with a full field of cars and drove up to third. So that was quite honestly out after the USMTS race. That's probably my highlight of the year, just because I've never passed 20 cars in one race, and it was a shortened race, and we still moved up plus 20. So that was pretty awesome and just fun to maneuver. Like I didn't touch a single person going through either. So it's like to pass 20 cars and come away, back to the trailer at the end of the night with a clean nose, clean side. That was awesome. So that was definitely a highlight too.
yeah, and then you had your first mod win at Deer Creek, you and Zach. I wasn't there, but I was sitting on a runway watching your guys' live timing in New Jersey, and I'm like, Parker's out front and Zach's .083 behind him, and I was
Yeah.
what was that race like? I mean, that had to have been a
Oh,
fun one for you boys.
it was
Parker
fun.
Parker
Yeah.
was just cruising to the lap cars.
I
I
just
told him I was like, you should have seen what was going on behind you. Like
yeah.
if it was on racing dirt or something, but it obviously it wasn't.
It
But
was just there was a lot of slide jobs between Zach and Blease, and then I was sliding lap cars and slicing and dicing, and I had no brakes
What's going
too.
through your head when you're ripping the top at Deer Creek and you see the 75 just completely ass sideways on the top and you're coming up on him like he's going 40 miles an hour? I mean,
he's not
what's
gonna move though. He won't
He's not
move.
gonna
He'll
move.
He
stay up
stays
there.
in his line.
So you just get, yeah, you judge
You
when you
just
can
got to
go to the
round him.
bottom. And yeah, he won't move from, like he's not gonna. come down last minute for the
No.
most part. I mean, he's holds his line.
Unlike this week with Brandon and that other guy, that was
That other,
nasty.
That sucked.
That was bad.
Sucked for Brandon.
Yeah.
He was definitely, you know, I was a third place car all night. Like I wouldn't have got Brandon or Zach. So like truly my second was more like a
he was probably
A
first.
was a
glorified third.
glorified third. Yeah, if I'm being totally honest. So, it sucks to see that happen to Brandon. He was a better car too. So,
Yeah.
gotta give credit when credit's due.
That's kind of like when people were asking me about, oh, I saw you won there, and I'm like, well, not really. I said I had a good race with Hunter Kennedy for second and third, or for second, and
Yeah.
like, and I said, I'll tell anyone this, like, I was pretty jacked with that run before they told me that I got a win. Like, I'm like, I kept Hunter Kennedy behind me, who was one of the fastest B mods in the country, and I was like, like I was jacked with that finish, and then when they're like, oh, go to victory lane, it's like just a glorified second place, but
Yep.
yeah, and
No,
then
it is what it is. It just yeah.
but well, anyways, no, yeah, I mean, is there anything else? I mean, just trying to think if there's any big things that have happened for our crew. Parker Anderson, you got what, 3 wins? You've got one at Brett. That was pretty exciting.
That was a
Um,
big one. I
you
love when
had,
USMTS comes to town
and then what else? You
or
had
any,
one.
or I go races. Yeah, I had one at Chateau.
That's right.
Yeah.
I went to that was a pretty exciting one.
That was an
It was just an
exciting one.
emotional roller coaster.
Which one did Darlow get in victory lane with you? I
Brett.
Me and
laughed when I saw
Britt.
that. Darlow's just mugging in the back of the victory lane
Just
post
a
like he's
just
like
a
trying to
thumbs
get
up.
in there.
He
That's
goes,
I
"Sorry,
awesome.
I
I
got in your
thought
victory lane picture." I said, "That's awesome, Darlo. I
I
don't
thought
really
about
care."
I thought about making like a meme of that or something. I don't know what it's something about sucking up to the tech officials
That
or
guy,
something.
he's in your victory lane picture.
It was before tech too. I was like, "Oh boy."
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine if he'd have DQ'd you then?
Yeah, I would have still asked Buck for the victory lane picture.
I've
No,
always
I got
said
one. Go ahead, Jack.
No, I've always said if I ever won a race, like I think of like we had some friends from South Dakota that won the non-qualifier last year at the Jamboree. He got DQ'd for deck height and he got like the big check. Already had his name on it, like the Grizzly. Well, the same thing you got,
The
Zach, when you
cooler.
won the Jamboree.
Oh yeah,
I
like
said,
oh yeah,
you can take my pay, but there is no way in hell you're getting this fake check or this cooler or this trophy back from me. Take me to
yeah.
court.
No
There's
chance.
no way
Take me
you're
to
getting that
court.
back.
They would literally just be like, okay, we'll just
Yeah.
let you have that.
But yeah, your one at Chateau is pretty wild.
Yeah, I had one fan in the stands at Chateau, and it was the legend. He comes down to victory lane and he goes, "I know I'm your only fan, so I figured I'd come down for the victory lane
Dude, yeah, people
picture."
probably hated you at the time. You're the national point leader and you just show up and start in the back and win. Like,
Yeah, and like I showed up. Like, there's some tracks. I don't know if you guys get this too, but like if you show up to a track where you don't race at normally, and you're not like in like a local driver from around, you just get the dirtiest looks when you like unload a race car or something. Like I felt like that was like in Decorah too. It's just like, who's this guy?
they just
Yeah.
don't like you.
They just like it.
Probably took someone's parking spot.
Yeah,
Pissed
bro,
them
I
off.
had no idea. No,
Told
that one in
them. Took
Chateau
someone's
was.
parking spot they've had for 10 years.
Yeah, I've been parking here for 20 years.
Yeah.
No,
But
I got dumped in Chateau, and well, I didn't get dumped. They thought I dumped a guy. It was like a domino effect to where in Chateau it gets pretty narrow. So we're kind of following each other into the corner, and there's like a single file line of 3 cars, and I tapped the guy in the middle, and he hit the guy in front of me and spun that guy out. But they claimed that I was the one that caused the caution.
it was a very, very local too.
Yeah. So I went to the back and somehow ended up winning it. Probably
My
through one of my
dad
first slide jobs ever,
my dad
and it was at
said
Chateau.
Parker drove like a pissed off teenager. So he
Yeah,
told me on the phone the next day.
Dude,
yeah, that one was pretty fun.
there's nothing more entertaining than watching a hobby stock attempt to throw a slide jab because you guys like go in, you're tight, and then you just completely skate. And you
I
guys
wish I
don't
had
hook anything on the way off.
I wish I had a GoPro inside of the car, so you guys could watch my hands as I threw that just all over the place, just chasing the wheel. My orange stripe on my MPI wheel ran around twice going through the corner. So that one was pretty cool. And then we obviously got that one at the beginning of the year in Webster City. That one was
That was a cool
awesome to kick
GoPro
off the year.
video. I
Yeah,
like that one. That was really
I was
neat.
pretty excited.
Heck yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no, overall it's been, I mean, it's only, July, but it's been a good year for our group. I mean, really, we've had, God, I don't know if we've had a night so far where at least one of us hasn't been in the top five, I don't think. I mean, between someone in our group,
mm-hmm.
I feel like we've
It's been
all
a
been having a pretty darn good year. Um,
There's
yeah, I
always
don't,
going to be highs and lows.
yeah,
Hmm.
Always.
but
Yeah.
anyways, well, no, I just wanted to, yeah, we wanted to hop on here and yeah, kind of go over some of our year. And next week, like I said, sounds like we're gonna have the O2 of Tanner Mullens on here. Yeah, we got some exciting ones coming up. So yeah, just feel free to, like and subscribe to the YouTube. Feel free to share it on the Facebook and see everybody next week. Thanks, boys.